You're watching Byline Wilmington on CBS 10 WILM. Here's your host, Don Ansell.
We're back. By the way, we're marking our first year on the air for Byline Wilmington. Our topic today is a very controversial topic. It's same-sex marriage. We're joined with a committed same-sex couple, Jake Foll and Ray Arkanyan, and Reverend Amanda McCullough to round out our panel for this final segment. Pastor, you have a child in your relationship.
I certainly have. She is 4 years old now, and she's very happy to have two mums.
Does having a child in a same-sex relationship, what does that bring to the relationship? Problems, blessings, I'm sure is all.
Well, it is different. However, I think that life is constantly finding your new normal, and I seem to be every month finding my new normal, whatever that might be, and just hoping that other people alongside will journey with me. I mean, Katie's very fortunate. She also has two fathers and a whole village of people that are involved in bringing her up.
Do you have concerns about social pressures on her when she gets a little older?
Absolutely, and I mean, I'm thinking about that today, not just when she's older. So, you know, this whole conversation that we're having, I think, is very important to me, because I would like now to be working on this new vision of an American family, so that we stop this sort of, you know, 2.2 and the white picket fence and the Volvo, that's what we say in England anyway, so that we can now dream of the, you know, what the new normal American family looks like, you know, and it's different, and I hope that we can start to look at that new vision. Let's
talk politics for a moment. And I know that you're a member of a political organization. It's called the Stonewall Democrats. That's correct. And there's a comparable Republican group as well. It's called the Log Cabin Republicans. Mm-hmm. These are gay political activists, really. What's your take on how the Obama administration is handling the same-sex marriage issue? Your thoughts on that, briefly.
Well, I know that he's faced with an awful lot of issues, and I think before I say anything, we're members of this group not only for one issue, but for a range of issues.
Range.
We're not single issue.
I understand. But of course, that's what we're focusing on today, so that's what we're going to talk about.
Right, but in the sense that we are disappointed in the sense that it's not a question so much of time, but of, for example, there was a recent legal brief in which they spoke about gay relationships in terms of comparing them to uncles and nieces, and, you know, various other types of relationships that really it was a demeaning in a way that was done. I understand why
this was an administration policy.
This was the Justice Department that filed a brief about the Defense of Marriage Act.
Okay,
and it was not, you know, it was perhaps their job to do it because they're in their role in the government, but the way it was done was probably beyond the line of respect.
Yeah. Well, I'm disappointed as well with Obama at the moment, because, you know, he did say in all his candidating that he would, you know, repeal the DOMA Act, and he made that promise to gay people. I think people voted for him for that, and now he's going back on what he said.
But I remember when he was specifically questioned about same-sex marriage, and he said he was not for same-sex marriage. This was during the campaign. I remember he said he favored civil unions.
That's his opinion, and
I mean,
you know, gay people heard that. We also heard him say that he would repeal the DOMA Act, and he has not done that, and now it looks like he is backtracking on that.
Tell our viewers what the DOMA Act is.
Defense of Marriage Act.
Defense of Marriage Act.
Sorry, Defense of Marriage Act. I mean, and we voted for him. Many people voted for him because he was making these great courtship with the gay community.
Would you vote for him again?
Well, you know, he has time. He has time.
Would you at this point?
It depends on who he's running against, but probably yes.
All right, let's talk about what happened in California.
Yeah.
By all accounts, one of the most liberal states in the country.
Absolutely.
Prop 8 passes, denies same-sex marriage. How did that happen?
I think that clearly it was a religious voice that voted against it. And though California, you'd think liberal, pro-gay, what happened was the pro-gay movement were trying to argue a value-based argument with a rights-based argument, and it didn't work. If the religious voice is that which opposes it, you've got to meet them with a religious voice. So we need to get progressive Christians who are respected to speak out and to meet on common ground.
To talk the same language.
To talk the same
Yeah.
language.
What about the whole, I know it's small, but it certainly pole vaulted the issue into the public. The Miss California USA, Perez Hilton gay marriage story. Any thoughts on that, Jay, Gray?
Yeah, it's a fairly a trivial thing, but all these kind of comments, the way they get blown up in the media, says, I think, a lot about where our minds are at about these issues, instead of really focusing on what they mean and the substance of what these kind of relationships are about, which are just like other relationships. When you're talking about children, you know, it made me think that there are a lot of children who have two mommies and who have two daddies. And it's not just gay couples. There's a lot of divorced people where a child has two mommies and two daddies as well.
You mean living in a home with two women? Is that what you mean? Although both of them.
Well, simply the fact that you know.
Oh,
they have a mum and a stepmom and a dad.
A dad and a stepdad. I got
yeah,
it.
exactly.
I got it.
Yeah. So that maybe is closer to the new normal in some ways than.
Well, where do we go from here, Pastor?
Well, I think we have to have a common vision. I mean, I don't think that the Conservatives ought to have the monopoly on a voice about morals and justice. And I mean, I think that we all have morals and values, and so we should meet on that common ground and talk about a vision for a community where there is justice for all, where there is dignity and humanity for all. I mean, that's what we need to be talking about together.
Thank you all for joining us this morning. Very stimulating conversation. If you'd like to catch Byline online, go to WILM-TV.com, WILM-TV.com, and click on the Byline icon. Well, that's our one-year anniversary show. Thank you for joining us. I'm Don Ansel for Byline Wilmington. We'll see you next week.
You've been watching Byline Wilmington on CBS 10 WILM. Join us every Sunday morning at 11 as we explore the issues that concern you.